What if I told you that one of the most powerful secrets to success in your career, in your life, isn't some complex new strategy, but a timeless truth about human connection? Today, we're unlocking that very secret, distilled from one of the most influential books ever written. We're about to see how its lessons are just as life-changing today as they were nearly a century ago. Let's get into it. Under my coat is a weary heart, but a kind one that would do nobody any harm. Just let those words sit for a moment. It sounds like a sentiment of pure gentleness, doesn't it? A kind soul. So who do you think wrote it? A poet, maybe? Some wise old philosopher looking back on a long and peaceful life? Who could possibly be the author of a line like that? Well, that letter, it was written by Two Gun Crowley. Yes, the infamous cop killer. He wrote those words as blood from his wounds was literally staining the paper, while he was trapped in an apartment completely surrounded by 150 police officers raining machine gun fire down on him. And this story, this paradox, gets right to the very heart of Dale Carnegie's entire philosophy. You see, even a desperate killer, cornered and facing his own death, did not blame himself. In his own mind, he was a man with a kind heart who was simply defending himself. It begs a powerful question. If a man like that doesn't blame himself, what good does it possibly do for us to criticize the people in our own lives? And this was Carnegie's absolute foundational observation. 99 times out of 100, people just don't criticize themselves, not for anything. It doesn't matter how wrong they might be. From Al Capone, who truly saw himself as a public benefactor, to the people you and I deal with every day. Criticism is just futile. It wounds a person's pride, it immediately puts them on the defensive, and it only ever breeds resentment. Even Abraham Lincoln had to learn that lesson the hard way. So if pointing fingers is a dead end, what's the alternative? Well, this is where Carnegie gives us a simple but truly profound roadmap. It all starts with three fundamental techniques, the very bedrock of all human influence. These are the three pillars. First, as we've already seen, just stop the futile criticism. It doesn't work. Second, you have to tap into a deep, universal human craving by offering genuine appreciation. And third, and this is a big one, you shift your entire focus from what you want to what the other person wants. These three rules, they're the foundation for everything else that follows. And really listen to that word, craving. It's not a wish, it's not a desire, it's a fundamental hunger, just like the hunger for food. This is a whole key to that second principle. We're not talking about cheap, insincere flattery. Carnegie says any intelligent person can see right through that. We're talking about sincere, heartfelt appreciation. That's the stuff that nourishes a person's soul and inspires them. And Henry Ford just nails the third technique right here. The only way on earth to influence other people is to talk in terms of what they want. When you can actually align your goals with their desires, you're not pushing against them anymore. You're working with them. Carnegie believed that the person who can do this has the whole world with them. The person who can't, well, they walk a very lonely road. Okay, so with that foundation in place, we can start to build. Let's move on to the practical tools. Carnegie lays out 6 principles that are just simple, powerful actions you can take starting right now to make people genuinely and immediately like you. Think of this as your connection toolkit, and it's all built on simple, profound actions. I mean, take the third point, remember a person's name. Carnegie called a person's name the sweetest and most important sound in any language. Just using it is one of the easiest and most powerful ways to build an instant rapport. Or look at points 4 and 5 together. Be a good listener and talk in their interests. They're really two sides of the same coin, right? Both are rooted in genuine curiosity about the other person, not just waiting for your turn to talk. Now, let's see how these ideas build on each other. We go from simply being liked to the subtle art of persuasion. And this isn't about winning arguments. In fact, Carnegie famously said the only way to get the best of an argument is to avoid it completely. This is about fostering agreement, about fostering cooperation. Think of that old fable, you know the one. The wind and the sun were arguing about who was stronger. So they decided to test their strength on a man walking by who was wearing a coat. The wind went first. It blew with all its might, this furious, argumentative force. But the man just clutched his coat even tighter. Then it was the sun's turn. The sun didn't bluster. It just shone, warmly, kindly, gently. And soon the man grew warm, he wiped his brow, and he took off his coat. The lesson is crystal clear, isn't it? Force only creates more resistance. It's warmth and friendliness that make people open to change. And Abraham Lincoln, well, he summed up this entire philosophy perfectly. A drop of honey catches more flies than a gallon of gall. If you want to win someone over to your side, you have to begin in a friendly way. It's as simple and as powerful as that. And now we arrive at the final and maybe the most sophisticated set of principles, the art of true leadership. And listen, this isn't about having authority or barking orders. It's about how to inspire change, how to correct faults, without arousing a single drop of resentment. This is the leader's playbook, and it's all about influence, not command. Just look at the third point. Ask questions instead of giving direct orders. An order, well, that can spark rebellion. But a question? A question invites collaboration. It respects the other person's intelligence and ability to solve the problem themselves. Or how about this one? Give a fine reputation to live up to. When you tell someone that you believe in them, that you see this incredible potential in them, they will often go to extraordinary lengths not to let you down. It's an unbelievably powerful way to inspire growth. There's a great story about the steel magnate Charles Schwab. He was struggling with an underperforming mill. So he walked onto the factory floor at the end of the day shift, and he asked the crew, "How many heats did your shift make today?" 6, they told him. So Schwab took a piece of chalk, and without another word, he wrote a large, bold 6 on the floor, and then he just walked away. When the night shift came in, they saw the 6 and asked what it meant. The day shift explained. You can imagine what happened next. The next morning, when Schwab came back, the night shift had erased the 6, and in its place was a big, proud 7. He didn't yell, he didn't threaten, he just threw down a challenge. He sparked their competitive spirit, and they rose to meet it, completely turning the mill's performance around. So, after all these principles, all these stories, what's the single most important takeaway? It's this. This book, these ideas, they're not about memorizing a list of rules. They're about fundamentally changing your habits, about adopting a whole new way of life. Carnegie himself couldn't have been more clear about this. The goal isn't simply to know these principles, it's to live them, to put them into practice every single day in your interactions with people. The true value, the real magic, is discovered in the application, in creating a richer, fuller, more successful life through better connections with others. We've uncovered the knowledge in this explainer, but the great aim, as Carney himself would say, is action. So I will leave you with one final and most crucial question. Based on everything we have just explored, what is the one thing you will do differently today?